Yes, as I promised, the next episode would be about the spark. Yes, we said that unit, that idea, because the paragraph is an idea that is in a kind of section, yeah? It could be shown by indenting, it could be shown by a new line, depending on the mechanism you've used to write. All right? But my aim is a spark. There are paragraphs you look at and lose all morale of reading. So how can you come up with a paragraph that creates an everlasting impression on the reader? It must have a spark. See, spark. Someone reads and wants to know exactly what follows. One, we are going to use the words many of you don't want to hear about. These words in literature, okay? The figures of speech that aid any good writer. Because you cannot be a writer and avoid literature. The two are this close. So some figures of speech include a simile, where a comparison is made using as and like. No, not and, as or like. You know the as beautiful as a peacock, right? As white as snow, right? Okay. Someone wants to show you the impact created when this person entered the room and says, her presence in a room was like a ray of sunshine had penetrated a darkened room. All right? This person is comparing the presence of this newcomer to a ray of sunshine penetrating a darkened room. Imagine that. Because someone will wonder, what exactly was it about this person that lit up the whole atmosphere in the room? Yeah, that is a simile, right? Now, don't give me those as black as charcoal things. We have things all around us, universal things that you can just compare to. We have the moon and the sun. Do the two ever meet? Probably in an eclipse. I'm not good at geography, okay? But someone can say, our meeting was like an eclipse, right? Then someone just compares the moment of the eclipse and then this meeting, right? First of all, it takes ages for that to happen. Secondly, many people wait for it, right? And they stay out for that long until they can, well, have a look at it. So that is a simile. Then you can use a metaphor. A metaphor. This is a direct comparison of two things. Someone says, you are my lion. Yes, if you're a male and a lady calls you a lion, I'm telling you, a lot is hidden therein, right? So, you ought to understand a lion, its characteristics for you to understand what you are to this person. Those are things that we call metaphorical, right? Someone looks at you and says you are their rose flower. How beautiful. Okay. There, we don't use as, we don't use like, it's direct. Number 3, we can decide to use a metonym. Metonymy. This is when a name of one attribute, characteristic of a thing is substituted for a whole thing. Okay? Someone says, we were just entering the palace when the crown entered. The crown. What do you think the crown is? They are using one characteristic of the king to name him. The crown, right? Then we can use a synecdoche. This is sometimes rude I mean. A striking part of an object is used to signify the whole. For example, when you have this beautiful girl that has these diamond eyes. All right? You've described she has diamond eyes, probably in some paragraph before. And then from that moment, the girl loses all names apart from diamond eyes. And someone says, diamond eyes entered. And the whole room fell silent. What an impact. What an impact. Right? Even if you haven't described before and you say, we were just looking at these girls that had entered when diamond eyes stopped us in our tracks. You understand? So that is another spark that you can use. Someone sees diamond eyes and is wondering, what is it about these eyes that is being called, that is making them be called diamond? Pick me. Then we have personification. Personification is giving human characteristics to non-human things. For example, someone looks at the skies and says, oh, the sky is about to cry. But do skies cry? No. But when you say the skies wept, it rained. Okay? These are things that spark the mind of the reader. Say, kachikano, what is happening? Right? Then we have allegory. This is allusion. I'm telling you, we've read, we have listened, we have watched movies. Now, this is where it comes in handy. Someone looks at this handsome boy and says, I met an Adonis. Those who know the story of Venus and Adonis will understand when a person calls a boy an Adonis. Or if I call someone a woman and a Venus, you know what I'm saying. Someone looks at another and says, hey, I'm realizing you're about to become Judas. Such a thing is just packaging this stuff the best way possible. You understand? Then we have historical. For example, Hitler. Someone says, oh, the lady had given birth to so many children, but amongst them, she never knew was a Hitler. Full stop. And that is spark. People will wonder what is Hitlerish about this child. Okay, that is allusion. A movie like Terminator, someone uses something, but I'm telling you, for it to qualify as an allusion, you ought to use something universal that a person from America will understand, and the one from Uganda will understand, Kenya will understand, not just something that you only know. Next episode, we'll probably have an example of such a paragraph that describes an object in a way that appeals to all the senses of the reader. Writing is lovely. Thank you for following. Another episode is on the way.